Futures trading involves a substantial risk of loss and may not be suitable for all investors. Therefore, carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 17th. I'm Phil Streible, Chief Market Strategist at Blue Line Futures. So futures remain cautious here with the start of a shortened week. You look at precious metals across the board, a sea of red, not only in that sector, but also U.S. equities, foreign currencies, the agricultural products, and the cryptocurrencies. So looking at the April gold, the lows overnight, 48.7520. Your highs overnight are 50.7440. Futures trading last year at 49.43, down about $102. The key levels to watch here would be 5,000. That's going to be your pivot point. And then also pocket resistance at 51.22 on up to 51.50. Your key level of support is going to be 49.31 on a closing basis and 48.75, the lows of the session in the overnight. The average true range here for the last 10 days sitting at $219, and the daily volatility index for the gold market declining to 30.84. Looking at March silver here, the lows of the overnight, 72.50, and the highs of the overnight session, 78.42. Last as the futures are trading is at $74.21. It's down $3.79, down about 4%. Looking at your 10-day average true range at $10.03, and silver volatility at 70.34. Big collapse on volatility recently, but we're still seeing some wide ranges here in the overnight sessions. Looking at the precious metals ETF flows, well, they're buying gold or selling silver, platinum, and palladium. Gold ETF flows not really making much movement here in the overnight because of the holiday volume across the globe. The exchange traded funds added about 9,600 troy ounces of gold, and total gold held by ETFs are up 1.2% this year, sitting at 100.1 million ounces. Gold is up about 16% this year, while silver ETF flows, they continue to decline, dropping about 0.4%. Year to date, total silver ETFs declining 3.1%, where the ETFs, they cut about 3.32 million troy ounces of silver from their holdings. We're seeing palladium holdings decline for 5 straight days, and the gold-silver ratio is sitting at 66-1. You look at stock futures, well, they are edging lower here, and out of the 371 S&P 500 companies that have reported so far here, 76% have managed to beat those analyst estimates, while only 20% have missed. We will have some economic data here today with ADP payroll. It is expected to come out here, but it shows tentative on the screen. We will also have Empire manufacturing data coming out at 7:30, and Fed's bar and daily are scheduled to speak here later on today. Looking at the CME's Fed Watch tool, it's a 7.8% likelihood that the Fed will cut rates at that March meeting. On April 29th, it's a 26.9%, and June is showing a 65%. July has a 100% probability that we will have some kind of interest rate cut by then. You look at the FX markets, the dollar index edging higher up 33 ticks at 97.15. And that's a big reason why we're seeing pressure across the board here on a lot of the markets at the moment because of the inverse correlations. You look at the euro currency sitting at 118.45, the Swiss franc at 130.16. 10-year treasury yields edging 2 basis points lower here too. 4.03%. You look at the volatility index, still elevated over that 20 handle at 2098. You look at Bitcoin futures sitting at 67,800, and Bitcoin is really tracking on here for a possibility of 5 straight weekly losses. You look at the S&P Gamma exposure, it is negative, and you go over to across the pond to Europe and Asia. Well, those European stocks, they fluctuated back and forth, while stocks fell in Japan, and the MSCI index dipped about 0.3%. On course for its 3rd consecutive session of losses. So if you guys got any questions on futures or option trading, shoot us an email at info@bluelinefutures.com. And remember that futures and option trading does involve risk of loss. May not be suitable to all investors. Good luck. Good trading.
Futures trading involves a substantial risk of loss and may not be suitable for all investors. Therefore, carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition.